Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Aidan Tell Me a Story. Today we have a really special guest here. He's now based in Ohio doing amazing work as a photographer, but we go way back. I met him here in New York City at NYCDA, which is now shutting down. We're gonna be talking about his life, what it's like being a queer man today, hear about his coming out journey, and take a minute to honor his late friend and our fellow classmate, Tony. Plus, we're gonna dive into his work behind the lens, and who knows, he might have a little something special to share with us. So please welcome my friend Tre Woods at Tre Woods Photography. So that
Hello. Oh, go ahead.
when I
I didn't
edit
know
that
if I
together,
was
you're good. You're allowed to talk. It's okay.
okay, because you're cutting it up and stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be editing because that was crazy.
Nah, I get it, because I would be the same.
So let's talk about how we first met, NYCDA.
Feels like forever, right? How long
Honestly,
has
it
it
was
been?
7 years.
Long. It was a wild ride being there, but yeah, it's closing down. I'm not surprised, honestly, with like everything that is going on there. But yeah, you were my first friend. We were gonna be roommates, remember?
Yes, that makes me feel special. I definitely forgot about that for a little bit because I know that there was like some strange things going on with your old roommate, and one thing led to another, and we didn't end up being roommates. But I'm happy
Yeah.
that I gave you a warm welcome. That makes me feel like my Texas charm was alive and well.
For sure. I'm glad we kept contact after that, even if we weren't roommates.
Yeah, definitely same. How was your experience at NYCDA? I feel like I'm grateful that I had that school and I went there because I had been acting since I was 6 doing stage and stuff. So being able to switch into film and TV was so freeing for me and so new.
Mm,
And I learned so much about all aspects of the film industry through that school. And I'm grateful for it. I mean, again, no surprise to me either that it's closing down, but
yeah.
I am grateful for it.
Yeah, it took a while for me to get there. Because the process it's a lot. I had to well, the audition process was pretty easy.
Yeah.
But for me, I grew up doing theater, community theater downtown. I started doing that, and then I did some in high school, some shows. Once on this island, I did also community theater downtown. So I did Hairspray, and then we did Grease. So doing all that made me like, I want to be an actor. I want to do this. I want to pursue this, and so I just did it. I still can't get over how I did it, but the process was. It did take a while for me to get there, but I don't regret doing it at all because it was really a good time to do.
Yeah. So you've been acting since how old were you when you started acting?
I was around 12. I was 12 years old, and after a while, I did some acting, but when I was 12, and then I stopped for a while, and then when I got into high school, then I started doing it a little bit more. And then
Yeah.
then that's when I pushed for NYCDA.
So are you acting right now? Are you still acting? How's that been for you since you graduated?
I have not acted. Well, I did do a show at the John Legend Theater in Springfield, Ohio. I did that. That was in 2022. I had a very good time doing that. It was called One Sunday in Birmingham, and that was a good time. I was like the love interest, but I had a good time after that. Then I realized I'm like, I really love theater more because you're more free. You have less restrictions when you're in theater. But after that, I haven't really got into it. I would love to do more theater, but that's the last thing I've done since school.
Yeah, I've definitely been getting way more into theater as well. I just feel like the instant gratification of it all is so nice because like you don't have to worry about doing multiple takes. You have one shot to do it. If you on stage, like that's on you and you're gonna have to
It's
own that.
over.
But
It's over.
well, it's not over, but
Well, the
it
show
is
must go
over.
on. The show must go on always.
The show must go on. And that's the best part about it because you make the mistake and then you move on. And it's not
Yeah.
like you forget about it. You definitely beat yourself up a little bit, but you definitely move on because it's like over. That
Hmm.
part is over. It's on to the next scene. And then you get the standing ovation at the end of the show from the audience and you take it and you run with it.
Right. And the audience doesn't know. They don't know until you show it.
They don't know the
They don't
script.
know.
Yeah. Somebody's in the
But
audience. That's the wrong line.
for real, unless they've seen the show like the night before and they're just trying to go see it again. But other
Yeah.
than that, they won't. They won't know
Exactly.
until you show it.
So,
Mhm.
what does pride mean to you?
First of all, pride means to me honoring people who have fought for our rights and just being your authentic self and having a village behind you to support you.
Definitely, definitely. I feel like for me, pride is like owning who you are and living unapologetically for the people who fought for you and for the people
Mhm.
yet to come. You know what I mean? That's what it
Right.
is.
Because we came a long way, and we're still
Honestly.
not done.
Yes. When did you come out? Do you mind sharing your coming out story or some of it or all of it?
All of it, all of it.
Let's
It's
go
kind of
for it.
crazy, honestly. My coming out story, I came out in 2014. I was about 20 years old at that time. I had a girlfriend at the time. We were together for 5 years. We were high school sweethearts and everything. But I just felt like it was time around that time. I started to like guys more, and around that time I was doing community theater, so I was doing like hairspray and everything. With theater, there's a lot of gays there, obviously. And since I was around gays and I was around my people, I felt more comfortable with myself. Being myself there and performing and everything and hanging out with the cast, it gave me the confidence to just come out. And one day, I just was with my friend and she knew about me. She knew I was liking guys, and me and my girlfriend at the time had gotten a huge fight. I forget exactly what it was about, but it was a huge fight, and that just took me over the edge. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I was about to turn 21. I was like, oh, I want to go to the gay bars. I want to do this. I want to do that. I just was ready. So I went over her house. I was crying like crazy. I just went to her and she told me, she's like, why are you crying? And I'm like, I just couldn't. I just was crying. I don't know. Like, I was with
It's
her
a
for 5 years.
And the emotion of coming out in general is so overwhelming at times, so I get it. Don't judge yourself for crying. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It was a lot. I don't regret doing it. Yeah, I told her. I couldn't say it to her face. I was just bawling, so I texted to her. I was like, I'm gay. It wasn't
Yeah.
funny then. It's funny now because it's been like 10 years,
Yeah.
11 years. And but she looks at me and she's like, I don't care. I don't care. I still love you. And I was just like, man, I thought she was gonna slap me or something. I thought she was gonna like, get out of here. What the
Something
hell?
dramatic.
Something dramatic. And it wasn't that. So I'm just glad she's the type of person that's just more accepting to it.
Yeah, definitely. You
But
lucked
she
out with that one.
cried. Yeah. And we're still good friends to this day.
Good.
But
I was gonna ask that.
yeah. We're not the best of friends, but I
You're
see
still
how she's
friends.
doing. Yeah, we still have our socials, and we conversate every now and then. I see how she's doing, and now she's married with twins. And I told myself, I'm like, that's what I wanted for her. I wanted her to just find a man, get married, have children, have a happily ever after.
Yeah,
And that's what she has. And I'm thrilled that she has that now because that's all I wanted for her.
definitely. Well,
Mhm.
I'm happy that she's doing good, even though you broke her heart by being your true self.
They broke her heart, but I
Crazy.
mean, it's better to break her heart then than break
Then,
her heart
yeah,
now.
for sure. That would be crazy.
Because those could have been my twins.
Yeah.
So,
Twins run in my family too.
but I'm happy for her, and I'm just glad that after that we can still be in touch
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely. Well, yeah, you've definitely had a journey in coming out. How did your parents react to you coming out?
Well, not too well, honestly. My mom, so I came out the
I love
same
how you're
day.
laughing.
It's funny, but it's kind of not
Traumatic.
funny. It's dramatic, but so the same day I came out to my girlfriend is the same day I came out to my parents. But the parents part's kind of tricky. So my mom, she's not the type of mom you sit down and you're like, Mom, I gotta tell you something. I'm gay. Like she's not that. She's not the comforting, like, oh my God. So I'm kind of scared to just tell her in person. So I decided to text it to her. And so on my way from leaving my girlfriend's house, I'm leaving and I'm texting my mom. And I'm like, Mom, hey, I have something to tell you. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I'm gay. Accept me for who I am or don't. And then she's like, she says, nice text. And then she's like, you're gonna get AIDS and you're gonna get a disease and you're gonna get this and you're gonna get that. And I'm
Like,
like, say crazy. Because my mom, she has inner homophobia, and so does my dad. Well, back then they did. This was 2014. Excuse me. And my parents were divorced, which is why I had the confidence to come out to them because both parents being homophobic-ish is not the best combination. So I text my mom and I tell her, and I'm telling her like, "Are you serious right now?" I forget what I said after she said that. I think I just didn't say anything. I think
yeah,
I just left her on red after that because I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, but after that, so I'm expecting to tell my family and my friends myself. Well, let's just start with my family. I expect to say it to my family and my mom, so after I sent her that, she calls my dad and she's like screaming, "Oh my God, Trey's gay and blah 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 blah. Oh my God." She's crying because I had a girlfriend for 5 years and they wanted, so she's, oh my God. And because my dad told me the story later and they were divorced. So she's calling
yeah,
him and they're divorced. So that's how you know it's serious. Like, our son is gay. And then my dad's on the other line talking about we all knew he was gay. But my mom, she just wanted me to,
yeah,
babies right away and whatnot. Like, I'm gonna have children, but on my time.
yeah.
She told my dad, and then, well, she pretty much told everybody. She came out to my entire family, I guess.
That is
Like she
insane,
told,
Trey.
yeah, it's crazy.
It's
It's
fucked
it's
up.
insane.
It's fucked up.
It
You
is.
did.
And I still can't believe she did that. And we talk about it sometimes, and she's just like,
What does she say now?
especially about the AIDS and stuff. She's like, I never said that. I'm like, yes, you did. You did. How would I forget that?
They
How would
really
I
be
forget that?
gaslighting you. When you catch them
Yes.
as an adult, they gaslight you and they're like, no, I didn't. You're making it up. And you're like, why would I
Mm-mm.
make that up?
Why would I? That's my coming out story. That's something you
Yeah.
remember forever. Forever and a
You said,
day. You said that and you're my mother. And that's exactly why I didn't sit you down and I didn't tell you in person. Because you could have been crying at me and yelling at me and then talking about, diseases and whatnot.
what she did.
But
Yeah.
she just was very uneducated. She was very
Yeah.
uneducated in
I do want to
years.
say I'm sorry that was your coming out was robbed of you for everybody else because you deserve to be able to tell your own story.
I know. She pretty much came out anyway, but I'm not too mad at her because honestly, I really like I was kind of sad that the way she reacted and everything then.
Yeah.
But in my head, and I don't know who I was back then. I was confident as fuck. I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, so I really didn't care that she told my dad, and care that my dad told my brother, and like my mom told my grandma. Like it was a whole thing. I'm like, Mom, why are you? But I didn't care
Yeah.
because it gave me strength to just be myself and just
Hey man.
move on. Because when I did come out, I was like, oh, well, I don't have to make an announcement.
Everybody
But,
already know.
and just like, I came out to them and I really didn't just put it on Facebook. I just, whenever people asked and they're like, are you gay? Then I would be like, yeah, I am. But I wouldn't tell people
Yeah.
because none of their business. And yeah, I'm not mad at my mom anymore. Like, I wish it would have went differently, but she loves me now. It's not like she's like a horrible person or something.
I
But
mean, I'm
she
sure they
loves me to
grow.
death. They love me to death. I wish my coming out story was, a more sit down, we still love you
Helpful.
situation. Yeah, but it's a crazy story that, that you just gotta educate your parents on, I guess.
It takes a while. Like my dad told me I was going to hell, Jesus didn't love me, and I chose to be gay when I came out to him, right? And I repeated it
Mhm.
all back to him, and he was like, yeah. and I was visiting him in prison, Trey,
Oh,
in prison. So
prison.
prison. And so it's like,
Wait, you said you came out to him in prison? Or
yeah,
while he was
yeah,
in
yeah.
prison?
Yeah, while he was in
Face
prison,
to face.
yeah, face to face. We were at the table. So I had already came out to my whole family when I was 15. And when I was 19, I moved to Jersey for college and I was able to live freely and express myself however I want. So I was like over it. And that
Right.
Thanksgiving, when I went back, I came out to my Mexican side of the family because Mexicans, POCs in general, they're hard with homosexuality. It's hard for them to grasp it or understand it. And
My first
so,
boyfriend, he was Mexican. I just wanted to throw
yeah,
that out there so I get it. But
yeah,
continue.
yeah. And so I was really worried about my grandma, but she ended up being cool. And my dad, I came out to him, and that's when he told me that. And it was just so disappointing because, like, one, you're younger, two, you're in prison. So
Hmm.
we know, I'm sure you've seen a thing or two in prison, but I guess that just made him more homophobic. But
Say that.
since he's been out, our relationship has grown a lot and we've come such a long way. And there wasn't even a point where he was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna gift this to you and your wife," and then he was like, "Or whoever." So hey, it's progress. I'm gonna take it when I can take it, where I can take it.
Bro, that's wild. Yeah, my brother, he accepted me. He really didn't care. Well, I have actually six brothers and three sisters. Only two of them are full-blooded, and the rest are halves. But my full-blooded, his name's Derek, and he really didn't care because he had to fight people over me because I got bullied too, just like you said you got bullied. I got bullied when like you see me now, but when I was in like elementary school, I would say like fourth grade to like seventh grade.
Yeah.
No, fourth grade to like eighth grade. I was bullied because they thought I was gay.
Well,
That
you
just
were.
wasn't the best. I was, but it wasn't nice.
No, I know. I know it wasn't. I was right there with you, buddy, old pal. I was right there with you.
Literally, my Facebook, you had a MySpace back then, right?
I had it for like a year or two, yeah.
A year, right? A year or two. And I think we talked about this before. But my Facebook, or it was rather Facebook, maybe it was Facebook. It was probably Facebook. And because I think that's when I was still, I don't know. But my profile picture was like this or whatever, how we used to be back in the day. Now that I look back at it, I'm like, dang, I didn't look at myself and was like, dang, that's some gay shit.
No, literally, I look back at my old pictures and I'm like, that's a homosexual right there. No
That's
wonder he
it.
was bullied.
Right. I'm like, I didn't even try to hide that shit. I was
Mhm.
just authentically myself
Yeah.
and didn't care.
So I remember you telling me like you were one of the DL boys back then.
The DL boys. Um,
That was you.
Yeah, it was me. I feel like we all have that phase
Yeah,
of being a
definitely no.
DL guy.
I mean, I always said that I was like bi at first because you never go straight to gay, especially when you're in the process of coming out in the beginning. But I mean, I wore
Yeah.
skinny jeans, I had long straightened hair, and I had like crunched bay. I was gay. I've always been a homosexual, and it was pretty obvious from the jump.
See, with me in high school, like I swam in high school. I was varsity swimmer all through high school, captain junior, senior year. And when you're a swimmer, you're like
Yeah,
it's hard. Well, with my
yeah,
teammates, they were kind of they were homophobic. They were
yeah.
extremely homophobic, and that kind of made me stay in my show because of
Hmm.
that. Because there was this one guy on another team that we would go to our meets and we would see him, and he was very flamboyant, and they would make fun of him a lot. And I'm just over here. I mean, I wouldn't partake in that, but I would just be an observer and just
Yeah.
realize that, dang, they are homophobic. They don't like gays. So it was that. It was like being captain of the team and, locker room situation. And also, like, it's crazy because a lot in the locker rooms, guys like doing gay shit. And
Hmm.
they're doing gay
Straight-
shit, and I'm just like, oh my God.
I was just gonna say, I feel like straight men are like the gayest men,
You said
especially when
straight men are the gayest men?
yes, straight men are the gayest men, especially when it comes to sports and stuff, because they do gay shit all the time.
All the
But then they're
time.
like, no homo, and it's good. That's all it
Say no
takes. Just a little
homo.
no homo.
Say no homo. And what pisses me off, because I have some friends in Columbus, Ohio, who
Mm.
use the that's gay, the
Oh yeah.
whole that's gay insult.
Yeah.
And I have to educate them because
Yes.
I'm like, that is. And then so I sent my friend, the commercial with Hillary Duff and
When you
how
say that's so gay, do you realize what you say?
just
Knock it off.
knock it off. And what did she say about that? That's such not a cute skirt or something.
That's such a girl wearing a tube top as a shirt or something, or as a skirt, something like that.
Man, Hillary Duff needs more recognition for that. That needs to be
Mhm.
out. That
I
was just
just shared that
perfect.
on my story the other day because it came across my little For You page or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, I saw it on yours. I've seen it
Yeah.
before, but I send it to them and I try to educate them on that because that really, that pisses me off for sure.
Listen, I can relate to that totally. One of my nephew at one point, he was real young and he didn't know any better, but like we were cooking or making brownie or like baking or whatever as a family. It was a big thing.
Mhm.
And like I went over there and I like tugged him or something and he was like, "Stop, Uncle Aiden, that's gay." And I was like,
Oh,
and I
oh,
had to have a conversation with my brother and sister-in-law because, like, understand that because sometimes parents don't want their kids to know what gay and straight and blah 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 is, right? Sure.
right.
That's your prerogative. That's fine. But
Hmm.
they should know the words that they're saying and know that it can hurt people. And so my main topic that I brought up to my brother and sister-in-law was like, I know that my nephew doesn't know the difference between the two, right? And for looking in, he looks like a cool kid. He seems like one of the cool kids. So if he's in elementary school and he calls some other kid that, I'm that other kid. I was that kid in elementary school. I was bullied from third
Right.
grade till 12th grade. So like don't let him call people this and don't use those kind of slow or slurs around him because that's not
Hmm.
right. And he's better than that, damn it.
Literally.
But yeah,
You
that
gotta
was my little
educate. You
tangent.
gotta educate.
You do.
You gotta let them
Jesus,
know
we're doing the Lord's work out here, Trey.
for sure. Say the Lord's work. I want to talk about the word bitch and
Okay, let's
how,
talk about it.
because I have friends, like I have straight friends who are allies to the gay community,
Yep.
and they, how we say bitch to our
Yeah.
friends, and like,
Bitch.
bitch, bitch, you better stop playing for real. And like, because I have a lot of straight friends too, but they try to use, our saying sometimes because they think, I don't know, like, because I have this one friend, I'm not going to say his name, but he knows who he is and he will see this podcast. But he says bitch, but he says it in a aggressive and like, no, just
Give me
aggressive
an
and mean
example.
way. I got to do the like, bitch or bitch. Like, I don't know. Give me your example of a straight bitch. Bitch,
Be quiet, bitch.
bitch. Like he'll
Bitch.
try to say bitch, but he'll say bitch. I'm probably not saying it right, but y'all get what I mean. Y'all understand. But I bring that up because I feel that straight guys shouldn't say that to women. They shouldn't say that
Yeah,
to women because it's not only the gay thing or whatever, but it's just how you say it. It's how you say it. And when I hear it from them, it feels disrespectful. And if it feels disrespectful to me, it's gonna feel
yeah,
disrespectful to them.
for sure.
So I just hope the straight guys realize that when
Yeah.
they say it, it's disrespectful. Or even if the girl, because sometimes the girls don't, they might not find it disrespectful, but if you're out in public and you're just saying that and
Yeah.
the person beside you don't know, they're like, What the heck?
I feel like Ohio is a lot like Texas in the sense of you don't have as much freedoms as we do here in New York, where here in New York I feel like we could walk down the street talking about the most lewd, crazy topics just out in the open and just on your way, and nobody bats an eye because it's New York and we all mind our own
Nobody
business.
says anything.
Nobody says anything, but like in Ohio and in Texas, well, in Texas, and I'm guessing like in
Hmm.
Ohio, it's like everybody listens. Everybody is everywhere in the sense of they don't mind their own business. They don't mind their own business. Is that true
Oh
there
no.
too?
I would say in some parts, but I'm saying Columbus, Ohio, it's you could be a little bit more free
Okay, okay.
what you
It's more
say.
of a city vibe.
Yeah, like city, you could be more freeing, but I feel like other places, not that you'll get like attacked or some shit. You could be more free in the city of Columbus, for sure.
Yeah,
And that's where I was living for the past 4 years.
yeah.
There's so
What's
many
it
good.
been like for you in the dating scene? Because I know for me, it's always been rough. I feel like it's always up and down and it's just big on hookup culture and these like ideal beauty standards that the gays take everywhere and hold to such high esteem when there's
Mhm.
so much diversity out here. I feel like for me, because I don't feel like I am the conventionally attractive archetype or whatever. I feel like
Mhm.
I am curvy. I'm in between masculine and feminine. I am not clubber. I am not, I don't know. I'm not those kind of things that I feel like the gay community idolizes. And
Right.
yeah, I don't know. It's been a long journey for me and a lot of understanding, a lot of patience, which I do not have, but I've had to learn it. What about you?
And some patience. For me, when I came out, I got into a relationship right away, which
Mm.
I don't recommend because when you
For all the
come
baby
out
gays out there?
for the baby gays, I mean, if you can make that, if like you're with that person before, like if you've known that person forever before you come out or something like that, maybe it'll be different.
Yeah.
But after you come out and you meet someone and just don't jump into a relationship because that's what I did. You just because you want to be free. You don't want to be tied down and not that you want to be like out here hooking up or nothing like that, but just being in a relationship it's very hard work. And before that, I was in a relationship with a girl. So I would say, yeah, clubbing, like, because you know me, I used to go clubbing all the time. I mean, I do the occasional club, whatever, but I don't do it as much anymore
Yeah.
because it's gotten to the point where it's just boring.
And
It's not,
expensive.
it's not expensive. It's expensive as fuck. And I have friends that they like go out every single weekend they go out and I'm like, where are you getting all this money? Because
Yeah.
drinks are expensive and like it's just insane. But that's why also I don't drink liquor as much anymore because liquor is definitely not my friend. It's definitely not my friend.
Mine either.
But me personally, like me, because I'm more mask, but my personality is more feminine.
Yeah.
So with me, I've never really had like I would say I've had trouble finding the one.
Yeah.
Because back then I used to be super, super picky, but now I'm not so picky like I used to.
I
Um,
mean, the older you get too, I feel like your ideal of the perfect person for you definitely changes. Because I definitely had like a more solid type when I was younger, but now that I'm getting older, it's like become a lot more loose.
Definitely not settle for less, but
Yeah,
you know,
there's a fine
I just
line in
can't.
between there.
Yeah, you will find that one. You just gotta keep searching and just because yeah, I haven't been in a relationship in a long time, and that's also because of my previous relationships in the past. They
Yeah,
haven't been the best, and like I said, it is a lot of work. So for my next relationship, and if I am going to put a lot of work in, I want it to be someone I truly care about
yeah,
and give all my time to.
and someone who puts in the work too for you.
Yeah, puts in the work. What is your type? A guy.
I don't know. I just like kindness. I like a kind person. I like talent. They need a talent in the sense of they need to be chasing something. They need to have a goal.
Chasing
They need to have
a
some
dream.
kind of dream. Yeah, a dream. I don't want someone who's not going towards something or not advancing
Right.
their life for something. Body wise, it doesn't really matter to me. So like my mom was an obese woman, so I grew up with a different body standard than everybody else. So I grew
Hmm.
up that big bodies were beautiful, so I really don't have a body type.
Period.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just as long as you're kind and you treat me well. I want somebody who treats me
Hmm.
so great and makes me feel so loved and special. But that'll come. That'll come.
That's exactly the same. For me, like you have to be driven. You have to be going for something because if like you have they have to be on the same level as me as we're both reaching for the stars out here.
Okay, so enough about pride. We're gay, we're happy, we're grateful, and we're pushing through. Let's transition into your photography. You started doing your
Hmm.
photography about how long ago?
Hmm.
When did that start? How's that been? What have you accomplished? What have you achieved? What have you learned? When are you going to take pictures of
So
me?
listen, I'm gonna take a picture of you soon when I come to New York, for
Deal.
sure.
Well,
But yes, for sure. But I started it last year, well, professionally last year. I started loving photography when I was in high school. So
mm.
I did a class in high school and I loved it there. And then after that, I I uh I did yearbook my junior and senior year.
I did yearbook
So
too,
you did?
and I
It's
did
so fun.
Matcast.
Oh my God.
Did I do
And it's
yearbook? Maybe I only did Matcast or like news. No, we did yearbook too. I just took pictures and stuff. I don't know. I did it all. I did it all. Sorry.
But it was a lot of fun, and I'm in that yearbook like a billion times. But it was fun, and it's crazy. It's crazy because my ex-girlfriend, she was in yearbook with me, and we have at the end of our yearbook, at the back, it shows like recognition. And I don't know why, but in the back, it shows me and my girlfriend like a picture of us, and they're like recognizing us. But I'm not sure why they're recognizing us. It's just recognition. I don't know.
Take it.
But
Take it.
that's still funny to me. That's still funny that we're in the back of that book like that. After that, that's what started me was like school and doing all that. I love taking pics. And just like in school, like when I went to New York, loved taking pics and everything. But when I came back, I got into it. Well, I got into it more because of my friend Tony Barr, miss him, who passed recently. And he was a stylist. He was styling and he had magazine covers and everything. And I told him I wanted to go into my photography and be with him and we were just gonna be together and us do it. And he started his portfolio and I told him I was gonna start mine. And I had got a camera and I had told him like, I got this camera, what do you think? And he was all excited about it. He's the one that pushed me to do it professionally more because I was already going toward it, but his passing kind of pushed me
Really?
more toward it. And that's where I started my portfolio and that's what began. I was already on
Yeah.
the way to do it with Tony, but I really jumped on it after his passing.
I mean, I'm sure that it is beautiful that his legacy and his vibrancy and his life is living through you and continuing to inspire others through you.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you're gonna definitely be honoring him for the rest of your life. And I think that's so beautiful.
No, it's like it's so sad that like the most genuine and nicest people can just go like that, just like that. And you never know when that person's gonna be gone. You really don't know. And I was just so glad to have him as a friend, and he was just so talented and just an all-around good person. It's crazy. He was probably my closest friend at the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts,
Yeah.
for sure.
I love that. I'm just so happy that you got somebody that close to you and you got a great friend out of it too. I got a couple really good friends too, and which I'm so grateful for. And And I couldn't imagine losing. It's just is a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's very devastating. But I know he would be very proud of me doing this, and I'm just gonna push forward and get this photography going and get my name
Yes, you are.
out in the world.
Yes, you are. So, what exciting things have come from this so far? What have you done? What have you been up to in terms of photography?
Well, I was residing in Columbus, Ohio, and I was taking a lot of photos there, which I was pushing up, getting my photography, my portfolio going, so people could see here's my work, which I'm glad everybody is enjoying it. But since then, a magazine I reached out and they said they love my work and they wanted to put it in their issue at the end of this month. I'm
So,
not
it's
gonna say
coming out
what the
this.
magazine, yeah, this month. And I'm not gonna say what the magazine is until it drops, but I'm very excited about that. And I
That's
wasn't,
awesome.
yeah, it's kind of insane. And I told myself like, because Tony got his work in the magazines and everything, and I'm like, I gotta get my stuff going.
Well, you are.
It's it's insane, and I'm happy that they they have found my work and they love it. So that's coming out to the end of the month, and I'm super excited about it.
So cool. That's so cool. So what's next for you? Where are you going? Where are you heading? Where is your life taking you? And is there anything you
Oh,
want to plug?
I would say life is taking me just going to, I eventually want to move back to New York. That is my goal. To move back there. For now, I am in Springfield right now, Springfield, Ohio, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I know it's like
They're eating the
controversial
dogs.
right
They're
now.
eating the cats.
No, they're not.
Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
But yeah, it's coming there because I was in Columbus for a minute, but I miss family and everything, so I wanted to come down and be with family for a while, probably stay here for a year, but I might end up going back to Columbus for a little and then end up going to New York, but definitely pushing for New York. Springfield is, I'm just here for family. That's all. I
I get
literally was downtown, and I will tell you this. I was downtown and I was with my mom, and I hadn't seen her in a while. We're just visiting all the new stores because things have changed. They have added so many buildings, so many restaurants. She was showing me, and there's this mural of Springfield. And she's like, let's take a picture near it. And I'm like, Mom, I don't want to be next to that. But then again, and then that's what my mom told me. She was like, Trey, this is your home. And I'm like, oh, she's right. We still didn't get that pic next to that. She's right. But it's home. John Legend, he was born and raised here too.
That's
Oh,
kind of cool.
there's that as well.
You do got that. Anything you want to plug?
Dang, we talked about so much.
Follow you on Instagram. Do you have anything
The
else?
final, yeah,
TikTok.
there we go. I was like, all right, follow me on it's Trey. So that's OH_ITS_TR3. And my photography portfolio, Tre Woods Photography. And TikTok, same thing. Oh, it's Trey. And that's it. Follow me, y'all.
Definitely, definitely. I'll put that on the screen too so they can see it. Let's get into these last six questions before we say goodbye. And you can answer these fast, you can answer these slow. This
Okay.
is up to you. So, what's one childhood dream you've kept alive or secretly want to chase? And it can be silly.
I want to go treasure hunting.
Ooh, those exist. They do have treasure hunts out there.
Yeah, I do want to do that. So that is what I want to do for sure. That's
That's
on the
awesome.
list.
So what is the most you moment you've ever had? Something that just screams your personality.
I'd say being involved in the hairspray cast, being in the hairspray cast is the most beat. It was an amazing show. I wish you would have saw it. It was amazing. It was the most me. And again, before that, I was DL. And it made me free. It made me be me.
It
And
helps you open up
that
and
was, it
spread
helped
your
me
wings.
open up, spread my wings. I was flying, flying high.
If you could relive one magical moment in your life, what would it be?
It would be meeting Ariana Grande.
Ooh, I forgot. You are a big Ariana friend. Ariana.
Meeting Ariana Grande, meeting her, that was a magical moment. And I wish it can happen again, especially now because of Wicked and the new album, Eternal Sunshine, that is a masterpiece. But that moment, I wish I could have again, which I will. I'm gonna finesse that, manifest that.
Yeah, manifest it. You will. You will. You go. You're gonna work with her one day.
Yes, I want to be taking her pics. I want to be her photographer.
Amen.
So
We'll
one
put that
day
in the universe for you.
in the universe, somewhere.
Definitely. What is the one thing you'd want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for my work, my photography, my pictures. I want them everywhere. I just want to be known for that. My craft.
And you will. And you will. What's a small moment or memory in your life that had a big impact on who you are today?
Me coming out
Nice.
to my parents and kind of being outed, but kind of not.
Not
That was
even
a big
kind of. You were outed
I was,
by your own
but
mama.
by my own mom. I love her. Love you, mom. But that was a big impact because right after that, I got to be myself. I got to do what I wanted to do, listen to the music I wanted to listen to, go where I wanted to go, and go to acting school. If I would have never came out, I wouldn't be doing what we are now.
That's awesome. I mean, I know that those kind of things can be traumatic, but I am happy that you've made lemonade out of those lemons and you were able to persevere through all of that. Because sometimes
Mhm.
that's the straw that breaks the camel back for some people.
I know, for sure.
Who in your life taught you the most about being true to yourself, and what did you learn from them?
My friend, bestest friend, Michael Crosdale. He's been there for me since day one. He's taught me to be confident. He's taught me to stand up for myself, be who I am. And he's the reason that I went into acting school. And just he taught me to just be me, just not care what anybody else thinks. And still to this day, he helps me through my journey.
I love that. Shout out to Michael.
Michael, bestie, love you.
Alrighty, well, that's all of the questions then. I'm grateful that you took the
Okay.
time for doing this interview with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Thanks
it,
for
and
having me on.
I'm happy we got to catch up.
I know. And we have to get together soon. I do want to come up there and we could link.
And I'm not kidding about these pictures. I love pictures of myself. Look at my Instagram. It's full of pictures
I
of
saw, I
myself.
was like, period.
I
Okay.
love
I was like,
modeling. What can I say? I
wait
think
till you
I'm
get with
gorgeous.
me. Gorgeous. And the hair, giving
Everything. Thank you.
everything. Jinx. But we will get together for sure.
Definitely. Alrighty. Well, I guess that's it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. We have more to come. Be sure to stay tuned. There's a lot more gay stuff coming in this season in this little mini Pride series. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and tell me about your coming out story. Tell me about your journey. Tell me about you. Okay. Love you, mean it. Bye. Say goodbye, Trey.
Waves.
Okay,
Bye,
okay. Goodbye for
y'all.
real.